Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Suplexes, Scores, and Save Points, your home for all things wrestling, sports, and video games. It is, well, when you're listening to this, it is Tuesday, January 25th. I am Ryan, and with me again is my co-host, my brother, Nathan.
I'm pretty sure somebody hacked my TV and I was watching Matt last night.
We have a fantastic show for you all. We're going to be talking, of course, AFC Divisional Round playoffs. We have new number one for the first time ever in men's college basketball. We had a record being broken in women's college basketball. Plus, we're going to be talking Olympics, NHL, NBA, all that fun stuff. Can you cook my hamburgers for me? Ryder's hungry. But, of course, we are going to start with, of course, the divisional round playoffs from the NFL. We had four really good games this weekend. I have never seen a weekend of football games that were all this close and that were all this exciting. Starting...
It was insane.
Starting on Saturday, we had two games Saturday. We had Bengals traveling to Tennessee to take on the number one seed Tennessee Titans. A close game all around. At the halftime, it was 9-6, so a lot of field goals being scored in this one. Bengals were down 16, or it was tied 16-16 going into the fourth quarter. Bengals, the rookie field goal kicker for the Bengals, hits the game-winning field goal as time expires, sending the Cincinnati Bengals to the conference championship.
Yeah.
Upset.
Joe Burrow is only his second year, and he's taken the Bengals somewhere they have not been in a very, very long time.
Well, I mean, it's his second year, but it's also basically his first full year. I mean, because his first year he got injured, so this is insane for a guy this young to be doing what he's doing. Pretty crazy. The other game on Sunday with 49ers Packers. Packers striked first 7. It was 7-0 going in at the halftime. It was 7-3 going into the fourth quarter, and then the 49ers scored 10 points again on a game-winning field goal as time expired to give the 49ers the victory over the number one seed Green Bay Packers, 13-10. So the number one seeds are both out.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's happened in a long time.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, and it didn't stop there.
No. But before we move on, was this the Aaron Rodgers' last game as a Green Bay Packer?
I don't know. He could be a Colt. I don't know. We'll see.
So he said that he does not want to be on a team that is rebuilding. If I'm going to keep playing, he said, quote, I don't want to be a part of a rebuild if I'm going to keep playing. Which, you know, when you're 38, you obviously don't want to do that. You want to be on a competitive team. All the talk is that the Packers are so far over salary cap that they're going to be getting rid of most of their players and going into rebuilding mode. And if that's the case, then he's probably wanting out. There is a huge, as you mentioned, there is a huge, I guess, following, or there's a huge thing online trying to get him to come to Indianapolis. It's a couple benefits. You know, he's best friends with Pat McAfee. He could be in studio for Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. Plus, Colts owner did say that he's going to do anything and everything to bring a winning team to Indianapolis. And getting a guy like Aaron Rodgers, I've also heard rumors that they might be trying to get Russell Wilson to Indianapolis. So
bring it on.
So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. So what were the games on Sunday, Ryan? I know we had, like you said, still have more close games to come.
Sunday was an even crazier day. Saturday was the game of defense. Sunday was the game of offense. We had Rams traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. Matthew Stafford finally having an opportunity to win some games here in the playoffs. He won last week. Going up against Tom Brady This was a shootout. It was not a shootout through the first half. It was 20-3 at halftime.
Yeah.
But as we all know, you cannot keep Tom Brady down. Tom Brady brought them all the way back to a tie game into the fourth quarter, where the Rams once again hit a last-second field goal to win the game, 30-27. Knocking Tom Brady and the Buccaneers out of the playoffs. And so I pose this question. Is this the last game we see Tom Brady play?
There's a lot of talk about him retiring this year. There's a lot. Even some of his players on his team are unsure he's coming back.
I think he's done. I think he wanted to try it. And I don't know. I think he might be done. We'll see, though. I mean, a lot of people thought he'd be done when he left New England. So,
Yeah.
And then the final game, a lot of people are calling it the game of the century. A lot of people are saying it's one of the greatest games they've ever seen. I don't know. Chargers Raiders was pretty good too. We had Bills and Chiefs, a rematch from last year's championship game, AFC championship game. This was just back and forth all game long. Both quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, were just going toe for toe against each other. Allen threw 329 yards and 4 touchdowns. Mahomes threw 378 yards and 3 touchdowns. Mahomes also rushed a touchdown in. So just back and forth. This game was crazy.
One of the wide receivers for the Bills caught 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. Gabriel Davis had 4 touchdowns. It was back and forth. We actually went into overtime in this game. But before we get to that, the Bills threw this game away.
Before we went to overtime, Ryan, these teams scored 4 times, 3 touchdowns and a field goal in less than 2 minutes.
Well,
how is this even possible?
Kansas City scored in. So this game, Buffalo, I thought Buffalo won it. They scored with 13 seconds. 13 seconds on the clock. There was no way in hell that Kansas City should have won this game. There was no way Kansas City even should have sent this game into overtime. But the Bills, for some reason, decided to play prevent defense with 13 seconds on the clock. And they allowed Patrick Mahomes and 2 throws.
2 plays off.
They allowed Patrick Mahomes in 2 plays to get down the field in 10 seconds to kick the game-winning field goal with 3 seconds to go. A game-tying field goal.
Yeah.
So then we went to overtime. Chiefs won the toss, which basically guaranteed they were going to win this game. And they marched it down the field, and Mahomes threw a touchdown in the end zone to win this game. And it began. I know it's what everyone likes to say about, every time this happens, the overtime needs to change. But in a game like this, where, damn it, I just wanted to see Allen get a shot and tie this game back up. All right. It sucks when a coin toss can decide a game, basically. Because you got 2 teams that were that evenly matched. A coin toss shouldn't decide the game. But it did. And so Kansas City won because of the coin toss. So Kansas City will host Cincinnati next week in the conference championship. As a Raiders fan, I really wanted to see the Chiefs lose. But it'll be Bengals at Chiefs in the AFC Championship at 2 p.m. Eastern on CBS. And then it'll be Rams hosting the 49ers for the NFC Championship at 5:30 on Fox. An all-California game there. So I've got a pull for the Bengals. And then I wouldn't mind the Rams because Matthew Stafford has been so underrated for so long. I would not mind seeing him go to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I could see the Rams winning that game, but the Bengals and Chiefs are interesting because the Bengals didn't have much offense in that last game, Ryan.
No.
So if this last two games have anything to say, they're gonna need to get their offense going because Patrick Mahomes is gonna friggin' put up 30 points.
If it turns into a shootout, I think the Chiefs can win. If the Bengals can slow down the Chiefs' offense, they have a chance. But you have to slow down. You can't allow them to do what they did in this game and just throw it up the field and score them with whatever.
Yeah.
But again, story of the weekend is the Bills not knowing how to play defense. You get one stop in that game. If you don't allow 13 seconds, you win the game. Ridiculous.
I just cannot believe that those teams scored 4 times in less than 2 minutes. Like, how does that even? How's that possible?
Yeah, that's crazy. I thought for sure when Buffalo scored, it was over.
I thought when they scored the first time, it was over. Then Kansas City scored. Then the Buffalo scored. Then I was like, I thought I was watching Madden.
It did seem like a video game. In some news around the league, Saints owner Gail Benson has acknowledged that Sean Payton, you never know, his status is unknown going into next year. Sean Payton has said that he is not yet committed to returning to coaching the Saints in 2022.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of changes in the NFL next year. We could see a lot of quarterbacks retiring. We could see a lot of head coaches changes. It's going to be a different league.
Peyton's contract is until 2024, which means he'd have to be traded to coach another team. But there is reports that some TV networks are interested in having him become an announcer. And especially, apparently, I've heard Amazon is really interested in getting Sean Payton because Amazon will be getting football games next year. So,
interesting.
And so we're gonna have a lot of this offseason is gonna be crazy with the news of all these teams that still need coaches, Brady and Aaron Rodgers' future. I mean, the league could look completely different next year if Rodgers and Brady both retire. We're gonna no Big Ben, no Rodgers, and no Brady. That would be crazy.
Yeah, who knows about Matt Ryan? He's getting up there.
Yeah, Matt Ryan's getting up there too. All right, so that is your football report. Crazy weekend. This playoffs has been one of the best playoffs we've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
So you're thinking it's going to be? Are you think the Bengals can pull it out? I think we're going to see Bengals Rams is who I'm going for. And
yeah, same here. That's what I want to happen.
Yeah. It'll end up being the Chiefs. And the 49ers, I'll tell you what, I don't know. They have a shot. All right.
They squeaked by in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Let's go to women's basketball, Ryan. There was a record being broken.
We did. We have a new record holder. Kansas State center Ayoka Lee has set the Division I women's basketball record for most points in a game. Whereas she scored 61 points. So
Holy
that's
crap.
the record for the most points in a game.
Wow.
By the way, they played the unranked Kansas State Wildcats played the number 14 Sooners. Oklahoma only scored 65 points, so she almost beat them by herself. She scored only 4 points less than an entire team did.
That's insane. That might be the record for WNBA too, honestly.
That's 61's a lot. And speaking of records, Ole Miss is number 1 in the women's poll for the first time in 15 years.
Wow.
Oh, is they? Yeah. No, I'm sorry, they're not number 1. They're in the poll for the first time in 17 years.
Oh, okay.
South Carolina is still number 1. Stanford's number 2. NC State 3. Tennessee 4. Louisville 5. Indiana 6. Doing pretty good in women's basketball. At least we got one team doing something. Michigan 7. Arizona 8. Texas 9. UConn is down to 10th. Baylor is 11th, LSU 12th, Iowa State 13, Georgia Tech, Georgia, BYU, Maryland, Oklahoma, Oregon, Notre Dame, Duke, Ohio State, Iowa, Ole Miss, and Kansas State is the following. So there you go. Kansas State comes in after Lee breaks the record. She gets her team ranked. Look at that. All right, and over to another record being broken in men's basketball. As we have a team that's number 1, Nathan, for the first time in school history.
Hey, it's just like Purdue was. So who are they going to lose to next week?
Auburn has taken the number 1 spot for the first time in school history, knocking off Gonzaga, who did not lose, by the way. Gonzaga did not lose, but Auburn beat 2 ranked teams this week, so deservedly became number 1 team.
That's kind of surprising. Auburn's had some good teams in the past.
Yeah, Bruce Pearl, doing some things over there. I mean, Auburn's where Charles Barkley went. Surprised I never got number 1 when he was there, but
yeah.
But Auburn is number 1. Gonzaga dropped to number 2, and Arizona is number 3. Baylor and Kansas are 4 and 5. Purdue drops to number 6 after losing to Indiana. Houston is number 7. UCLA number 7. They're tied. Duke is number 9. Michigan State, Wisconsin, and Kentucky are 10, 11, and 12. 13 is Texas Tech. Villanova 14th. USC is 15th. Ohio State is 16th. Providence 17th. Tennessee is 18th. LSU 19. UConn, Xavier, and Marquette are 20, 21, and 22. And Iowa State, Illinois, and Davidson are 23, 24, and 25. So there you go. That's your men's and women's college basketball update. As I said, Purdue over this week went into Indiana and got beat, surprisingly. Indiana knocked off Purdue when they were number 4, 68-65, but then Indiana turned around and put up a stinker against Michigan their next game. So they can beat the number 4 team in the country, but they can't beat a team with like a 500 record. All right. What else we got going on in the world of sports? Let's see. We got an update on the MLB and the Players Association, Nathan. They plan to meet again Tuesday after they started to make progress. So we'll see what they see if anything happens. They had a face-to-face meeting which lasted 2 hours. So we'll see if anything comes from that. You'd think, but apparently, no. Let's see. Let's get our NBA update. We got injuries galore. People keep going down everywhere. But in the Eastern Conference, Miami are number 1. Brooklyn is number 2. Chicago.
That's probably the first time that's happened since Dwayne Wade and LeBron were there.
Probably. Milwaukee is 4. Cleveland 5. Philadelphia 6. Charlotte, Boston, Toronto, and Washington are 7 through 9. And then New York, Atlanta, Indiana, Detroit, and Orlando are currently out of the playoffs. Over to the Western Conference, Phoenix has increased their lead by 3 games. They have only lost 9 games this year. Golden State is number 2. Memphis 3. Utah 4, Dallas 5, Denver 6. Minnesota is 7, Los Angeles 8, Clippers are 9th, and Portland is 10th. Portland's in the 10th spot without Damian Lillard. Currently out of the playoffs, we have New Orleans, Sacramento, San Antonio, Oklahoma City, and so there you go. That is your NBA update. We're edging closer to the All-Star game. We got a couple, obviously, before that happens, but All-Star game's coming up sometime in February.
Yeah, it's getting close. It's pretty good. It's after the Super Bowl. I know that.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure when the All-Star game is, but it will be sometime.
Let's go to the Australian Open, Ryan. We got tennis to talk about. That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, we got the Australian Open, obviously. The defending champion is not there to defend his title, so we're going to have a guaranteed new champion. Now, we're into the Open. I think this is just like the opening round here.
No, I think we're up to...
Or the second round or something.
Yeah, we're past a couple rounds here. Were there any upsets?
Let's see. Stefanos Tsitsipas. He's the 4th seed. He beat Taylor Fritz. U.S. Open champion Neil Medvedev beat Maxime Cressy. He's the runner-up last year. He lost to Novak, but since Djokovic isn't going to be there, he's probably the favorite going in. Let's see. Yes, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, Rafael Nadal defeated Adrian Manarino. And Denis Shapovalov upset Alexander Zverev. There's way too many V's and E's in that name. But Nadal will play Shapovalov next week for next game, next match. So we'll see.
What about on the women's side?
It doesn't look like there was that many updates. But let's see. The women's well, Sonora Certeza upset Anastasia Pavlyuchnova. American Madison Keys upset Paula Badosa. And American Jessica Pegula defeated Maria Sakkari. So a couple Americans. Oh, there's a couple Americans making it in. So there we go. Amanda Anisimova upset Naomi Osaka.
Yeah. Also, number 2. Did you talk about the number 2 going down?
In the women's?
Yeah. Sabalenka got beat by Kanepi in the Australian Open. That happened like 10 hours ago.
Oh, wow.
So one of the top top two went down in the women's.
Yeah, we're into the fourth round. The quarterfinals now. So we're actually pretty far into this.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I forgot they play like every single day. It's so crazy. They have like 100 and some people, and they get it down to like one in like a week.
So what are the semifinal matches, Ryan? What's it looking like? Or quarterfinals?
Is there like a quarterfinals? We've got Gail Monfils versus Tarantini. That is a men's quarterfinal. Yannick Sinner versus Stefanos Tsitsipas. Felix Auger-Aliassime versus Daniil Medvedev. The other ones have already happened, it looks like. Rafael Nadal and Shapovalov play tonight. And then in the women's side, we got Barbara Krejcikova versus Madison Keys. Ashley Barty versus Jessica Pegula. Danielle Collins versus Elise Cornet, and Iga Swiatek versus Kaya Kanepi. There are 3 American women's in the quarterfinals.
Hell yeah, that's probably the best they've done in a long time.
I would say. The U.S. women's team's kind of fallen off. Oh yeah, because there's not hockey players that have weird names. Let's see. The standings and the hockey. More of the same here, Nathan. In the Eastern Conference.
I will say, you mentioned last week that that Crosby was not going to be in the All-Star game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's not in the All-Star game, but in the game last week, in one of the games, he scored 4 goals, but he's not in the All-Star game.
Nope.
So there you go. Good job, hockey. Good job, hockey.
Okay, let's see. I forgot what I was doing here. In the Eastern Conference Atlantic Division, it's topped by the 2 Florida teams, Florida and Tampa Bay, both with 61 points. Toronto is 3rd. Boston is 4th. Detroit, Buffalo, Ottawa, and Montreal are not in the playoffs and probably won't be. In the Metropolitan Division, New York Rangers have first place. The points in this division are 58, 57, 56, 55. And then 37. So a big drop off. New York is 1st, Pittsburgh is 2nd, Carolina 3rd, and Washington is 4th. Columbus, New Jersey, New York, the Islanders, and Philadelphia are probably not going to do much here.
Yeah.
Colorado is first place in the Central Division, followed by St. Louis, Nashville, and Minnesota. And then Dallas, Winnipeg, Chicago, and Arizona have some work to do. And out in the Pacific, Vegas leading the way with 50 points. Of course, they're back in first. Los Angeles is second, Anaheim third, San Jose fourth. Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver are within 2 points of the fourth place team, and then Seattle down there pretty far down. So all right, Nathan, we had an MMA of paper.
Yes, we did, and it was a damn good one. We found out that Nagano is even scarier now because he can wrestle. The main event of that was Nagano and Ciro. How you pronounce his last name?
Again,
yeah. And dude, it was everything I thought it would be and more, honestly, because yeah, we had a bunch of hits, bunch of punches. I don't know how they didn't knock each other out, but we also saw a bunch of wrestling from Nagano, which I'm pretty sure Gain did not expect was coming. And he power slammed him at one point. He had him on the ground, went for some submissions. It was insane. And this fight surprisingly went the whole distance, all 25 minutes. And Nagano won by unanimous decision, so he's the undisputed UFC heavyweight champion. And Dana White walked out. He usually puts the belt on the champion. He usually does a press conference afterwards, and he did not stay for any of that. So not sure what that says about Nagano. Don't know if he's going to stick around. It kind of sucked to have your champion leave, but it is what it is if they can't come to terms on money.
Well, they're going to have the money to pay him. Considering there's a report out that they are raising their pay-per-view prices again. When it originally was bought by ESPN, they were $60. Then they raised to $65. Then they raised to $70. And now they're going to be $75.
All right.
Plus, you also have to have
still not as much.
You have to have an ESPN Plus subscription to get it.
Yeah. Still not as much as boxing pay-per-views yet, but they're getting there.
Yeah, but but UFC has one every month. Boxing, they don't have that many.
They do. You just don't hear about them. Yeah, it's going to be kind of steep for some people, but I'm sure there'll be a bunch of people having parties and sharing the expense.
Yeah.
Also, we had another title match on here. We had a flyweight title match. It's the third meeting between these guys. And Davidson got the win, Ryan. And this one also went the full 25 minutes. So both title matches went the full 25 minutes. This one was also, I mean, these are little guys, so we weren't expecting knockouts, but they were slugging each other pretty good. And yeah, the crowd favorite did not win, Ryan. He tried, but he thinks he won. It was close. I'm honestly, when I was watching it, I wasn't sure who was going to win. But yeah, Davidson got the title back. He said that he would give Moreno another title shot, and so they'd fight for a fourth time. But now he's kind of backtracked on that. So if somebody else was in that division, you know, I mean, you got 13 other guys in there in the rankings, you think they'd be like, okay, guys, you guys have had your trilogy. Let's let somebody else have a shot.
You would think. Also, Michael Pereira and Andre Tuavosa went in the decision too. We had 3 decisions.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
3 decisions. Also, Nurmagomedov. Nurmagomedov choked out Cody Stanman very early on into the first round. And then Michael Morales knocked out Trevin Giles in the first round. So 2 first-round wins, but 3 unanimous decisions means a very good pay-per-view for the UFC. And no women fights other than on the early prelims. It's crazy. I figured they'd do more women fights, but there was none on the main card or the prelim.
So the guy that fought Pereira, he was a straight up boxer, Ryan. I have not seen pure boxing in an MMA fight since I've been watching MMA. Like, that guy was a boxer, and it turned out boxing, you need more than boxing to win an MMA fight.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but it seems like a really good pay-per-view. You had 3 decisions and then 2 first-round wins, but very good pay-per-view. Next one on the list will be UFC 271, which will be in February, obviously, February 12th, and it is middleweight title fight. Middleweight title fight. Addisonia versus Whitaker 2.
Yeah, we also have, I believe this is on the same card, is Tuavosa versus, is this on the same card?
Yes, it's a co-main.
Tuavosa versus Derrick Lewis, and Bryce Mitchell makes his return, Mr. Body Twister himself. So that is a stacked card. I'm looking forward to that.
There's somebody fighting on the undercard, the early prelims. It just says their name is Blood Diamond. But I had no idea. No picture either.
What the hell? I might have to check that out just
no
to
picture. Just his name is Blood Diamond. Why are they not having a lot of women's fights? Like, there's only
I don't know. I noticed that too.
There was only 1 on this whole card, and the last 270 only had 2, and they were on the very early prelims.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
UFC's becoming like WWE. They don't know how to book women anymore. I
don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But yeah, pretty interesting. It was a good card. We also had we said we're not sure if he was related to Khabib, and I don't think he is because they didn't mention it on the pay-per-view. But he fought Stamen, and Stamen wanted to have a fight. Ryan, he was trying to book himself into a fight with Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Not after that performance.
No, he got beaten less than a minute.
Got choked out, man. Just completely
Yeah, and not only did he get choked out, but he also he rolled right into that choke. Like, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't the Winter Olympics is coming up very, very, very soon here. It's gonna be more of like the Summer Olympics, very limited crowd. And it's only going to be a 3-day torch relay. Instead of, like, I think they do like usually a week, right?
It's usually 2 weeks.
2 weeks, but they're cutting it to 3 days amid coronavirus.
3 days?
Yep.
What the hell?
The Rio will run from the 2nd to the 4th.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Of course, they're going to do the bubble again this year. Yeah, it's going to be more like what this Summer Olympics was. NBC said also, so I don't know how this is going to work. NBC is not sending announcing teams to China, so I guess they're going to do most of the announcing from the United States. I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's going to be a very weird Olympics. I'm just going to say. Not only is it weird because of Corona, which it's also weird because it's in China, and China's not making themselves any fans right now. So that's also part of the problem.
No, and I understand the coronavirus is bad and it's getting worse right now, but man, 3 days.
Yeah.
That's going to be very rushed. You're going to have a lot of events going on at the exact same time. I'm not sure how.
Not the Olympics. Just 3 days. The torch is going to be 3 days.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, the Olympics is still the same.
Oh, okay. You had me thinking.
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I mean, no, the torch relay is only 3 days.
That's probably pretty normal, I would think. I don't
know. They say they cut it down, but I don't know how big it is.
Right.
But we are almost, Nathan. It's almost time for NASCAR to be back.
Yeah.
The Clash at the Coliseum is in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
February 6th.
Oh yeah. I cannot wait to see how that race is going to go in the Coliseum.
I am so looking forward to that because that's going to be such a cluster. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
I can't wait. So, we're going to have way more to talk about upcoming. So football's ending, but we got NASCAR picking up. And hopefully baseball comes back before too long. Hopefully they can make some stride in their talks and get something done. But yeah, until then, we got basketball still going on and all sorts of fun stuff. Should be a good weekend. Of course, we have the championship games for football, and then for a basketball fan, there's plenty of that shit out there. I think that's gonna do it. I don't think there's much else.
No.
We covered it all, though, buddy.
Yeah. That's what we do here.
Yeah, tune in Thursday for the video game podcast. We will be doing a review of Skyjammers 2. Also, we're going to be talking
that's Windjammers 2.
Or Windjammers 2. Also, we're going to be talking some rumors and the speculation station coming in. It's going to make a stop on the video game podcast. And then, of course, Saturday morning, before Royal Rumble, we're going to have our huge Royal Rumble preview show. We'll be doing predictions. Predictions will finally be back. And we'll also be taking another trip around the indie world. And we're going to be talking the world because we'll be talking GCW the world. See how that worked out? Worked out wonderfully. Also, we'll be talking everything else that happened in wrestling this week. So tune in for all that. Also, go to the YouTube channel. I'm going to start uploading again. The finale of the Super Mario playthrough is up. And then we'll have another series starting soon. Plus, I'm going to try to put more other videos on there, as well as follow TikTok and Twitter. Yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you all. For Nathan, I'm Ryan, reminding you to always score if you can, save if you must, but always suplex when necessary.
Later.